Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets Bling.
This is Wood Round a Wreath Wednesday. I would like to thank our hosts for tonight, Aria from DIY with Aria, and Lowly from Lowly D Creations. You're going to find the links to their channels and this playlist in my description box below. If you've ever watched my channel, you may have heard me mention I have a bucket of wire. It's a very large bucket of wire, and I decided that tonight I am going to make a wreath out of some different gauges of wire that I have in my wire bucket. I'm going to treat my wire like wisteria vine or grapevine. There's always different sizes and different lengths of vine, just like I have in my wire bucket, different sizes, different shapes. And I am going to hopefully make my wire come together to look like a legitimate viney wreath, but made of metal. Haha, there's the twist. I begin the base of my wreath with these two components. One is part of an old lampshade, and the other is a leftover component from a previous project. That's what I'm working on right now. It was part of a stand, and I didn't need this part for the project. But, as I always say, keep everything. You never know when it's going to be that one particular piece to complete a project somewhere down the road. What I'm doing is I'm changing the shape from an oval to a circle, or as close to a circle as I can get it. Once I get the shape where I want it, then the fun begins. I'm actually going to start forming my wreath. The first thing I need to do is connect these two components together. To do that, I'm going to be using rebar wire. I get a couple of really good lengths off of my spool, and then I start wrapping. I'm not wrapping these super tight. I'm wrapping them exactly the same way I would if this were a real vine. The goal is to make this look natural. Next, I'm going to stretch out and form some odd-shaped pieces of wire that I had in my bucket. I have no clue where these came from, but you know they probably came from a previous project years ago. I am shaping them so they look more natural, and then I am going to add them to my wreath. I will be adding this piece as well as two others just like it. I wish I'd found more, but evidently that's all I have. I will be using the rebar wire to connect these pieces to the wreath. I have at this point quite a few ends of the rebar wire sticking out. Now, I'm not going to leave them just sticking out because A, it's kind of dangerous. You could poke yourself or somebody else, and B, it looks unsightly. So what I'm doing is I'm using one of my jewelry making tools to create tiny little spiraling ringlets like you would see on a climbing vine. My wreath needs a little more variety, and it definitely needs volume. That's why I am going to add quite a bit of this wire. It's called anchor wire. It is wider than the rebar wire and thinner than the chunky piece I just added. I'm going to add as much of this wire along with more rebar wire until I get this looking exactly the way I want it. And just like I did with the rebar wire, any place where that anchor wire has ended, I will take my jewelry making tool and make little spiraling ringlets. So round and round and round we go until I'm satisfied. And once I am satisfied, we're gonna do something kind of cool to this little wreath. Okay, here we go. I have my wreath formed, and now she's going in the aging bucket. To accommodate her, I had to get a bigger, more expansive aging bucket. To see how I do the aging process, you can check out this video. I'll leave the link in the description box. Aging is just step one for this beautiful little wire wreath. Once she comes out of the aging bucket, tomorrow I'm gonna put her in the rusting bucket, and she will sit there for another day. Then we'll check in on her to see how she's doing. Aging process? Check. Rusting process? Checkity check. I really am loving the way she's looking, but there's one problem. One thing is catching my eye that I don't like, and I am going to put a stop to it. First, I need to get all of the solution from the rusting bucket off of her. Then I can address that little issue that's annoying me. Do you see what it is? It is the original black iron piece that I used for the main structure. I don't like that you can see it. It may get covered up with some other embellishments later, but just in case it doesn't, I need to make it go away. I am going to use 2 different paint colors to make it blend away into the background. I will be using a Folk Art Matte Paint by Plaid in the color of Raw Sienna and another Folk Art Matte Paint by Plaid in the color of Nutmeg. By stippling these 2 paint colors together, I am going to make that black iron piece look more like those big chunky pieces that I added, which you can see are now rusted nicely. Once I get all of my black wrought iron covered, I am going to set this aside to dry and focus on some embellishments, at least possible embellishments for my wreath. I have some adorable little rusty metal birds, and I want to use one in my wreath, but I feel she's going to get lost. So I made a little template out of cardboard. I'm going to give her some dimension. It will look like she's either casting a shadow or actually has some color. To do that, I'm going to be using a piece of soffit that was salvaged from our home. Even though my home is from 1903, this soffit is a later addition, but installed before we bought our house, probably sometime in the 70s. The soffit is made of tin and has a really pretty greenish color on the back, similar to the color I get when I age items. So the plan is to trace my little template onto the tin and then cut it out. And then she will sit behind my rusty bird. How perfect would that be? It's like a little peekaboo. You would get to see the color of the tin through those little cutouts in my rusty bird. Once I finish tracing my template, I grab some gloves and my tin snips. I know you almost never see me wear gloves, but this tin is really sharp and I don't want to cut myself. So I put on my gloves and I grab my tin snips and I cut out my little birdie. Once she's cut out, I'm going to give her a detail. One detail and maybe a little bit of paint. That detail I'm giving her is an eye. I have a drill bit that's exactly the same size as the eye that's on my rusty bird, and I'm giving my little tin bird the exact same size eye in the exact same location. After a little sanding, I will paint the edges of my birdie with the same 2 colors that I used on that black wrought iron. Sweet little birdie needs a home, so I am going to make her a nest. If I use the bird, I will use a nest. Probably, maybe. But I like to be prepared. So I'm definitely gonna make her a nest or 2. So I have choices. I like options, you know what I'm saying? This is steel wool. Everything that's going on this wreath is a metal in some form or another. And that means that her nest needs to be made out of metal as well, right? Steel wool comes in like little pads. This isn't like an SOS pad. There's no cleaning solutions on this. This is straight up steel wool. So I unravel it from the little pad shape and then I start forming it into the shape of a nest. To form my nest, I ended up using 2 of the little pads. Once I have my little nest formed, I'm going to put it directly into my rusting bucket. A tiny rusting bucket. This little bucket I made into a wee tiny rusting bucket just to accommodate my nest. Alrighty, let's check our nest. Do you remember what it looked like prior? It was silver. It was silver. And now it's not. No, it's not. It is rusted. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty darn cool. But I don't know. I don't know if this is what I'm after. So I'm going to make a second option. Let me introduce to you option number 2. They are copper scouring pads. And I figure I got the steel wool to rust. So I'm going to get the copper scouring pad to age. that's the plan. The plan is to pull this apart and just put it directly in my aging bucket and see if I can make it turn that beautiful blue-green color. I don't know if I'll use it for a nest or if I'll use it at all, but at least once again, it gives me another option. I've never done this, so I really wasn't sure what it would look like when I pulled it apart. It almost looks like a sock that has a hole in the heel. You know, you wear them way too long because they're your favorite, and yeah, that's what happens, and that's what this looks like. Now, we just need to get it into the aging bucket. I only let this sit for about half an hour, but look at it already. Can you see that bluish color? It is definitely blue. It's not copper color anymore. It's not like a metal color. It's definitely blue. I am thrilled. This is an old necklace, and the beads on it are hollow copper balls. I am going to make them into kind of large berries on stems for my wreath. Once again, options. I'm making a stem out of that rebar wire that we use to actually make the wreath. I cut a nice length of that wire, and then I crimp it near the middle. Then I feed the bead on above the crimp, and to make the bead stay in place, I will once again utilize my jewelry making tool by turning that wire into a spiraling ringlet. I will make at least a half dozen of these little berry stems. This wire ribbon is a remnant from a past project. This project, I'll leave the link in the description box for you. But in case I want to make a bow for this wreath, I'm probably gonna use this. A few more possible embellishments. I still have some of these leaves and roses left from last week's project. I've already aged them, and they might look pretty darn nice on my wreath. Now I just need to decide what I want to put on my wreath and assemble it.
My project is complete. Let's take a look.
This big old bucket of wire was my inspiration for this. It was not only my inspiration, but what I made my wreath out of. I love the little corkscrews, those little spiraling ringlets that I added to make the wire look like real vine. And the berries, look at how sparkly they are outside, catching the sun through the canopy of wisteria. So pretty. At the moment, my wreath is hanging on a wreath hanger that I created out of a vintage hose reel. I'll add the link so you can see how I made it. The real stars of this show are the roses, that bird, and his little nest. I can't believe how well that nest came out. There's some of the copper scouring pad inside to make it look full. The real reason I created this wreath was to coordinate with another project. My beautiful bell from last week. I used the exact same aging process on all the elements, as well as some rusting techniques. And I love the outcome. As you can see, these items look just as good inside as they did out. Very versatile in any decor. If you create a wreath like this and you want to stop the aging process to preserve what is existing, simply spray it with a matte sealer. This has been Wood Round or Wreath Wednesday. Thanks again to our hosts, Aria and Loli. You're going to find the links to their channels and this playlist in my description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and share. It really helps my channel to grow. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget to check out my shop on Etsy. Ring that bell for notifications of all my upcoming videos. Join and subscribe. 2 other amazing ways to support my channel. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you next time.